students are judged based on the grades. So there will be kind of profiling. If you are doing a good, then you will be in a certain space you are sitting. When I was in school, it was happening. I'm not sure it's happening right now, but like you are sitting in certain place, and the people, students are not doing good. They are sitting on a certain
Bench and the
so
toppers
that
will be sit on the front side.
yeah, so that will impact. So instead of exploring the creativity and exploring the talent of the child, we have kind of systematic imposing education on the kids. Yeah, that's yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, so their points they have put on is equality of the education system and the accessibility of all the resources they can find in one place, and the technology that's been applied is more advanced in US. So those are really great, awesome points. And so let's see how Gautami can defend those wonderful points brought out by Bina and Mr. Ashok. So let's go ahead, Gautami. Go ahead, and your time starts.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's like India is our country and we have a rich heritage and culture there. Wherever we are, but we are Indians. So there's a point like we have all our ancestors or our traditions who are always go with a line of traditions and a line of culture where we need to respect the culture and we need to move on with the hold of all those. So, as it's our country, we are obviously comfortable in our home doing anything. Whereas, in case just taking for an instance, being at our home differs from being in others' home. Definitely, there will be a lots of difference. This is just an instance. It's like being in our country, being in other country. Definitely, it makes a difference, a lot of difference, and as well as the freedom that we gonna be in our country, which holds the culture, the heritage, and the way we be there. Obviously, it counts a lot. It gives a major difference being there and being here. That's it's not only the point of being in our own country, it's the point of being in our own culture or our following our own traditions. Yet the education might be more advanced here, or the way they teach, obviously it may differ in other countries, but still we really we are the power of India, where we should give more value, which we should add value to the values already been established, and there's a slight importance to be given, where we obviously state ourselves, or we obviously introduce ourselves as we are Indians. So
Awesome.
obviously there's a point like being there, being in India will differ a lot more than being in other countries.
Awesome, awesome. That is wonderful points put forth with Mrs. Gautami. So her base points are being comfortable, the comfort of home. India being the home, as we are the origins from India. So that gives us the base. So let me summarize the points on both the sides. So Meenal has actually brought about those nice points with the cultural heritage as well as survival skills. And the strongest is the training that comes from India. And and also Gautami has defended along with the comfort of the home, the origins and the Indian origins, and also the way the foundation is laid. So these are the base points from the Indian side. And from the USA side, Mr. Ashok and Mrs. Bina have actually put forth great points, which we all come here for. Is technology is the most advanced, the well equippedness, as well as the education system and the teaching and the teachers and the equality. Isn't that awesome? So both the sides have put on great, wonderful points. So now is the twist round. So let's go ahead, twist this round to be having on the either sides. So now we're going to go switch. So let's talk about pros by Mr. Ashok and Mrs. Beena for the India side. And let's go ahead, start with you this round. And since they are having 3 minutes each, you can each talk 3 minutes. But we will first have Beena go 3 minutes or Ashok go 3 minutes and then have Meenal. So that way it's not one stretch of 6 minutes. And I don't want you guys to miss your time.
So again, India is of course it's our home country. We are all here for the education and the comfort and the technology. But again, we are. I mean, I born in India. He is born in India. I guess mostly we are born in India. So the good thing about is like when we have a child, like let's say I had a child here, I was by myself. It was really difficult for me to raise. Like I'm a working mom, so like. It's really hard, but if I let's guess like if I was in India, then it'd be very easier for me to brought him up. Like there is a family who can take care of my son, and I can. It makes very easier for me when the children. And also to another thing I will add is like friends. I mean kids can play. Like I don't have to watch him. Like he can just go outside from my house and just neighbors, they are friends. He will be her friend in schools. And here, like if I have to be if he has to go somewhere play with a friend, I have to arrange the play dates. I have to adjust the timing with the other parent that hey, it's okay, let's have a play date or something. But in India is like open, easy accessible. So it's like a pro, like one of the best thing I would say that is not available here, So that would be from my side. And
Yeah, so as she said, like if you are in India, we have a family, friends, you don't have to worry about your child, if there is doing something bad, you get to know, you don't have to go and look at it Google or something. So, but here, as child grow up, is slowly they go into, even we living in Indian community in Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta, New York, or New Jersey, Texas. There's so many like Indian community. If you living there, there's so many Indians. But like after certain, I seen like kids, they will go into their own world after certain time, and they will lock the room and they will stay inside the room. Even the guests come, they don't come out, say hi, hello, So you have to be fortunate, they don't go in a wrong way, like a drug or depression. So those are the worrying point I say to be bring up the child here.
and I have seen, so most of the time, like I have seen sometimes, like one of like my friend here, like she has like 18-month-old daughter, and like she is not speaking so much, or like she is very intelligent, or it's not that problem. But speech, like there lots of things, But if in India, a child might be stop diapers, and they are fully trained, like potty trained and everything, and also they will start learning language so fast. Here it's like a child gets so confused whether it's like in we family like we are Gujarati, so we speak Gujarati, and they outside when they go they learn English, and like also it's like very confusing situation for a child. But in India they very quickly absorb the language and like fast progress, I would say, and they are really have a good time, I would say, in a childhood.
Wow, you actually really, really nailed these things because you had good points on the American side. And when we switched, like as though we just reversed the polarity of a battery, you just went springing on both the sides. Awesome. That is true talent, Mrs. Beena. You had a beautiful flow and you brought in great points. Support system is a lot in India, and our parents are our treasures, and our parents guide our children. They brought us up and they will bring the grandchildren also up. And language, yes, awesome. Language is something we have speech therapists, occasional therapists in US, and there's not a lot of people, just like Mr. Ashok said. Yes, people are away from each other in US and there is so much isolation. Over there, there is a lot of people, just each square foot. You can get so many people in each square foot. Yes, population is a lot, but that also gets its own advantage of speak, 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 right? And then you talked about great point about developmental, abnormalities are very less, as well as potty training as a parents. Wow, it's very difficult for us to go through the.
Yeah, it takes almost 3 years or more here. I have seen.
True.
My child, I know. So it's like from my own experience.
Very true. Beautiful, beautifully put. You see how when we switched, we got more points. And so let's go ahead. Now it's Meenal's time to go ahead talk for the pros for USA. So I know she had some points and she was having it in her fingertips. So now it's her turn. Let's go ahead, Meenal.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, though being brought up in India, I have two kids. Two teenagers who I'm raising them in
So
here.
you're going to support USA now. So it's
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So no. I definitely want to support USA too, because having two kids from US and bringing them up here, and my kids are like 14 and 12, so it's been a long year of upbringing with my children here.
And let me stop here for a minute. You look very, very young. Teenager.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Seeing comparatively, I've seen like a lot of kids in India, and comparatively seeing here, I see the kids who are brought here are like very confident. They know what they want. They're self-driven. Like as a mom, as a parent, like I haven't pushed them. Okay, you want this. They know what they want. And they tell me like, okay, this is what we want, so don't push us here, don't do this, don't do that. The self-confidence, the thing that the education system is good. And also like from young age they've been mentored and they know what they want to do, and the state of independency, provided everything, if it is driven in the right path, they can reach great heights being raised in here and brought up in here. And also we usually make sure we call our relatives, every week. They talk to them, they stay connected. Even though some people, you might stay in India, you might be in Bangalore, Pune, different states, they don't have time for each other to talk, unless and until they meet every 4 months once or 5 months once or weddings. But we are connected to our roots, though we are far away from our country. We make sure we follow every single culture, tradition. The more you're far away, the more you are bound to practice that, to follow that, to inherit that. So I see my daughter, she can do the Pongal. We have a Pongal festival in our tradition. She can completely handle it by herself. She knows what to do, when to do. And there are so many things they learn being brought up in here. They're independent, they're confident, and also the exposure they get. The opportunities are unlimited, and it's not like a very hard task. It's easy to find mentors to coach them. It's easy to grab so many opportunities which come along your way. And I feel like kids who are born and brought up here are and they also have kindness in heart, and they do share and care. It's not like they're only worried about themselves all the time. So I see all these as a positive side of upbringing children, and that they're being kind, being confident, being bold. They're not scared to go anywhere, or if somebody says something, they are ready to talk from their side. So that's great positive points of bringing children here, like positivity, confidence, independence. And yeah, having children here, if you leave me, I would talk the entire session.
We are moms. That makes us special, and we keep going. Yes. Awesome, Meenal. Please pay attention to the minutes too. I'm a little far from the monitor, so whenever you guys are speaking, just please pay attention to the minutes that's running. So that way we keep it around the timing. So it's also others get a chance. So that's good, and I'm glad you guys are already maintaining time. That's wonderful points put forth by Meenal. So she said they've been independent, confident, and they have been more mature to handle anything because of the influence is something that they get from the system. And when they talk about the influence they get from the society, when Mrs. Beena said, yes, the society has actually a lot of influence, and that's what is very, very important. And so you had a point, you said the society is giving them the maturity. Over there, you see how from the Indian origin, like, when in India, the society is complementing for them to not get distracted by drugs, as Mr. Ashok said. So that is another important point, which we would want to come back again and rediscuss a little points. So let's keep that points in our little notebook and notepad, and then we will catch up those points again. The society's influence, and that would be another important discussion, but we will do it towards the very end. So let me have Mrs. Gautami talk more about the US upbringing as the best and the pros for it.
Yeah, it's like wherever we go, we should shine. Obviously, we should just show how it will be being an Indian. That's an obvious thing for any other person who stays in other countries. But still, coming here, I have observed like first thing, obviously, uh, the way they speak or the way they organize things or the way they do the things. It's like children are getting organizing skills, which includes basically it just includes the way they behave or the way they are engaged in all the activities. Whereas in India, we don't have that much choice or chance to participate in many things, but still there are kids who stay in India, but they don't give importance to our native languages. But here, I have seen that in every I can say in every colony where Indians live, obviously they are making a point that uh, we should know Indian languages, our own languages. We should know Indian art and culture. We should promote Indian art and cultures. Yes, where I do not see the same enthusiasm, the same interest in people who are in India. Here they are taking much interest in that, so that being away from our country, we can just we have to be into that. We have to promote our own culture. People are taking that as prestige, and people are like they are more promoting. They are doing more than what they can do in India. So this I found a lots of difference, a lots of activities, lots of things the children do. Here they have lots of options, as well as the parents' concentration on children is more. We can give more concentration in every activity, because we will not have other activities like basic Indian functions or basic Indian activities we do in India. The activities which we do in India, many activities like either relatives coming to us or some or other coming to
So
us.
much distraction.
Here, being here, we know the value of all those. So children automatically they started sharing everything among themselves, just treating every friend as a relative. So I found that second thing as one of the basic thing which each and every children do here. And as well as thirdly, as already it has been mentioned about the education system, it's been actually so flexible than in India. Many things such as mainly the kids physical activities, or the extracurricular activities which imply a lot in their personality development. They do have a choice or chance, more options here, whereas they don't get the same in India. It might be because of because this is more developed. It might be that might be the reason, or the reason we can't figure out, I know. But still I found that we have many options of being more active, physically as well as mentally, in USA, I mean other countries, than in India.
Awesome, awesome. So you had real valid points. And what I would suggest is in the future debates, be more cohesive, because there's like a lot of space between each sentence. So that means that, we have to concentrate a little bit more to get all the points. But you had valid points. You had said
Sure, sure.
Indian US origin upbringing is more advanced, more self-directed, organized, and more also it's more what I would say is like uh, more like combined points from maturity point of view. And then you also talked about the distractions, which was for sure. I started laughing. Yes, we had a lot of distractions. Every weekend, I'm like, yeah, we have to go here for this wedding. We have to go there for that wedding. This and in Telugu, like in Tamil and like in other cultures, it's like the baby shower, valakapu. Then it is like oh, they have the new housewarming. We have to go here. We have to go there. Oh, yeah, that is very true. The distractions are there. And then, yes, advanced society, and they're more matured in US versus it's a little bit primitive in India, because we try to kind of, they mind their own business in USA. Whereas in India, they're very pokey. That always happens. So it's like if you lose weight, they'll be like, really? What happened? What happened? How did you lose weight? What happened? And they just start gossiping. Whereas when you add weight, then the other gossip goes on. It's never a balance. They're never satisfied with us. It always happens. Very true about those distractions. Definitely, definitely wonderful. So you guys really did an amazing job talking about the pros, and then they switched and then talked about the pros. So let's do a very, very quick question round, and then we will go to the final round of the debate. So the question round, remember I said we'll put that in the notepad, right? So it's just open to answer. So whoever wants to answer, just put their hands up or just start talking. So when you see the other person start talking, just wait for the other person to finish. It's just a quick 1 minute, okay? So society's influence on our kids. And let's go ahead with the most advanced country of USA. And India learns from USA because USA is the pioneer. So we want to address what, as Indian parents, we're moms and dads here, as Indian parents, I'm a mom, I'm very concerned with certain things that happens here. I took a promise from my daughter to make sure she stays as a daughter. And I hope you understand what it means. I took a promise from my daughter and I asked her, do you like being a girl? And she said yes. And I asked her, so are you going to stay being a girl? And she said yes. And can you promise me that? Because I didn't say that, because it's wrong if a parents influence it, right? So I asked her, you said it, will you stay on your words? Can we record this? Can we play this every year? So let's go ahead. As a mom, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned as a mom to bring her up in this country. I'm very concerned and super concerned. So as parents, we want to put forth and some topics that we would like to address, and be open, and there is nothing right or wrong, because we are parents, we have the right. And you can, and I just mentioned my concern. So go ahead, any concern that you have, just put forth here. 1 minute each person and 4 minutes total. So go ahead, Meenal, you can start. Any concern, be frank, be truthful. Like I said, this is just as a parent, and we have the freedom of speech in this country. Go ahead.
Yeah, as a parent, like there are a lot of things, but as you said, having girls, like sometimes even I feel, okay, will it be all okay? Will we be able to raise a strong and confident woman in the future? There are a lot of hurdles which come across, like more prone, more window to technology, which can deviate them to any extent. Because as a teen, as a child, they only know so things. Like it can lead them in the right path, but it can totally drain them down, down to a pit hole. So that exposure to technology really scares me at this age, because for us, like even I know the same thing which my teen daughter knows at this age. So I just comparatively, growing up a daughter here is like more access to technology and more access to all the information out there in the web. puts me as a worried mother more oftentimes. So there's only so much you can say. As they're growing up, there's only so much of direction you could give. So as a mom, as I'm trying my best, and as kids, they are also still trying their best. And as the peers, the social pressure around them. There are so many things that influence them too, because they are in an adolescence age and they don't know. So it's just hanging in there. But over the period of years, hopefully they'll get a hang of it, and hopefully I'll be calmed down a little bit. But yeah, as you said, I'm also worried. But I'm trying to manage, trying to direct, trying to have a friendly talk, trying all sorts of different methods to handle the situation.
Nice. Parent openness and a talk.
Yeah.
It's always helpful. Very nice. And especially many parents of other cultures and the civil, other races, they have little issues having that openness of the talk, whereas Indian parents have that little, that wall breaking effect where we just break that wall, have the talk, and this is nice because you're a mom of a teenager. So that's really nice. So that's really a wonderful point. Too much of technology is also not a blessing. Awesome. So let's go ahead, Mr. Ashok, your turn.
Yeah, so as you say, the freedom of speech, there is a freedom of choice, So in this country, like kids, when they're growing up, as they start making their decision, they think, they can make any choice, it can be a good or bad. So we have to make sure they make a right choice, and we cannot impose on them the right choice, and we cannot tell directly to them this is right or wrong. So as say, be a friendly, give a friendly advice, or we can just put some hypothetical scenario. If this thing happened, this could be a bad or this could be a right. That's where we can influence their decision. That's what I say.
Very nice, very nice. It's the freedom of choice, too much of freedom, huh? Because that will also a little bit distract them from being very, very good and a good, mature person in the future. Because too much choice that is here can also ruin them. Too much of anything is always not good. So that's also a nice, wonderful point. Go ahead, Mrs. Beena, your choice of time of some concerns as an Indian parent.
Like I'm a mother of boys, so not like I'm worried. Like just either it's a boy or girl. As a mother, I'm always worried. In a class, like sometimes population wise in a class, very less Indians, I would say, when they are in a class. So more chance of getting bullied. So it's really really concerned that it sometimes they hide from us that and then it impact on their mental behavior, or they are just completely changed person. So little bit hard that we don't know when they're going in a school or high school or in a college. So it's bullied is a really really good.
Yeah, I think all of us parents are victims of our kids being bullied here. It's Priyanka Chopra. She had actually shared a lot of things growing up as an Indian brown girl in US. She had said that her mom makes her food and she had to go into the restroom, sit in the restroom and eat because the kids, they said it smells.
Yeah,
and they're being bullied. She was being bullied. And that was a wonderful thing when they shared, because sometimes we hide stuff and we are hiding and we don't know what's going on with our kids. Exactly. And that's why it's so much important for the openness when we come out, when we say, we share, and some person listening to this debate somewhere will be actually going to their kid and asking, are you being bullied? Are you watching something wrong on the internet? Do you have concerns that your friend is telling you to change into somebody else? Those are really important points, because just a debate, it also is going to be an awakening for somebody else and helping somebody else. So that's why I wanted to bring that little point there, just a minute, right? A minute from each of us could help a lot for a lot of us. So go ahead, Gautami. This is your point, and let's see what concerns you have. And do you have kids?
I have a very small kid. He's like 10 months
Aw.
old. So obviously these issues are like my future issues.
Uh-huh. See, we are preparing her. So at a 10-month, what was the concern you had? Is there something you wanted to share in
Actually,
US?
right now I'm concerned like people say that here due to less members at home or something. I don't know whether it's a myth or it's the truth. I don't know. They say like it takes long time to uh, the 10 months kid to talk. It
Uh-huh.
takes long time if we stay here. But right now I am like worried about that. I am making sure like I speak more and more with him. So I don't know whether it's truth or myth, but still I do have a concern about that regarding his speech. That
It is
is the
not a myth, it's
smallest
actually
concern I have.
mostly truth. It's mostly truth. I have my own experience. My son didn't talk for a very long time, 3.5, 4 years. I was very concerned. And so my mom walked in and things changed in 3 months. He would not stop talking. We went to 2 years, he was talking few words. He would maintain
Wow.
a conversation. So what you could do is FaceTime your parents, and the parents are going to keep talking. And today's technology with the FaceTime is what we didn't have when we moved in 16 years ago. We had to use our cards, and they were so expensive. Now the technology, it's too much technology sometimes is also helpful. So definitely have your parents talk to the kids, and that is your little worry concern is going to be gone, because the parents are magic. Like I said, they are living gods, live among us. They have the absolute love that can heal all our parents. So that's what I always say. So have them talk, and that's something awesome. So these are beautiful points put forth, and definitely very nice. We have a wonderful, intelligent team, that I should say, and no doubt, all Indian origins are super IQ. There is definitely that, and you guys just proved it all, like in the past 25 minutes. This is awesome. So let's go ahead towards the very last round, and then we just finish the finale with the judgment. So judgment, we are just going to say which side won, right? So that's the judgment. We are not going to just individually say this person, that person. It's just a general judgment, which I'm going to give because I'm the moderator. So let's go ahead to the third round, which is now I just took Mrs. Beena's suggestion because I wanted the show to be very interesting, same time comfortable for you guys, so that you could just talk and have fun, not stressed, right? So that was the whole point. So let's go ahead, talk about the cons, right? Like the negatives. So Mrs. Beena and Mr. Ashok took on the side the USA is the best. So let's go ahead, little cons, and let's just do a quick 2 minutes. So that way, and I know we just talked about the concerns. So you can just brush it up a little bit and then just put ahead in more points, and not just the concerns, something else which you would have noticed, anything like that, so you can just put forth in there. And then once they both finish, we'll have Gautami start, and then Meenal finish. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now the upbringing cons in USA.
Okay.
Yeah, we just did a little bit of a concern as a parent. That was a little different. So upbringing cons. I just went with your, so if you want me to switch it to a different question, I can switch it. Because remember, Mrs. Beena, you said you wanted to do the pros and cons. So that's what I was just doing it, the third round. But if you wanted to switch it to a different question, I could definitely switch it to a different question. Do you guys would prefer a different question?
I mean, the question is fine. The I can say both were pros and cons.
So let me twist it a little bit of a different, so you'll have more points to talk about. So if the US was the best education system, why did they need, I'll just have a direct question so that way you can talk about it.
Perfect.
Why did they need to bring us all? Why did they need to have a H1? What other labors are there? The L1 visas. Why? And when COVID happened, a lot of doctors are unfortunately dying, and it's sad. And just a moment of silence for them. And they are first line responders. They really They really gave their souls to save us all. But then they announced that they are going to open up doctors' visas to bring in more doctors from all over the world. IT, we see that. Every CEO of every company, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, Vijaya Gadde from Twitter, who wiped off famous. So why? Why do they need? Why can't they make their own? So what's the problem? So go ahead, talk about that.
So the one thing I won't say pros or cons on either side. I'll just put in a broad way that our, as we discussed earlier, the Indian education system is more on memorize everything, producing a mass skill, okay, and and make you from the childhood, your parents teach you or your teacher teach you to work hard and focus, okay. And in US is a different perspective. You explore, you create something, and like just think, from Wright brothers or Edison, that investment to Facebook or Twitter still is in USA. So that whole different approach in a both education system. So here, obviously, expand economy. There are other factors not belongs to this discussion. Obviously, there are less people who are wants to focus on a skill and work in a one place. So I can say, yeah.
So if
So
our
it's like
US education system is improvised, then would they be needing to bring more H1s anymore? Or they won't be bringing anymore, or they would stop it?
I think it should be fine. I mean, because that's the way, travelers is always good. Is when you travel, you explore a lot. And
Is there a shortage? Is there a shortage of
shortage, of
Sure,
course.
yeah, there is expansion. Yeah, it's a shortage. Yeah,
Yes, of course.
it's a shortage of the as economy expanding. They need a more people. They're outsourcing the people. Manufacturing goes to China, or soft skill go to India, or and then people come here and they will send it back to India. So there's economy is a one thing, but if we just thinking perspective of the education, then I'll say Indian education, studying in India or studying I here. But what difference I see, I was in MBA and like our director IIT he used to tell us, you need to learn how to sit 10 hours on a chair. So that was mentally preparation. Okay, make sure you're gonna sit in a chair for 10 hours. Make sure you work hard. That's all.
That's
So,
it.
but
so is
here
the
it's not.
education
Here is
system
whole different
failing
thing.
because it's expensive?
Yeah, here is a different thing. Here is like, okay, you don't have to work hard. You think something, you invent something, you do something. So I can
Work
say
smart.
I can say supply is on other side and the demand is here.
But it's like we are thinking as a only parent, but I would say like we are upbringing a future global citizen. So it's very important that how we going to raise our children, because we want them to be not only culturally, like they are, worship and everything, but also what they're going to create for a new generation.
Yeah.
It's very important. So, and the education plays a good part. So, of course, the education is good here.
So when we are bringing more H1s into this country, so is the education system failing because it's expensive?
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive, but the interest, in India, I can say here people go with a passion. I like the music, I'll go for music. I like the art, and people respect whatever you choose.
Parents will not force you.
In India, if you are a doctor, engineer, or in some good category, people will respect you. Your family respect you. Your friends respect you. I think this, whole diversion. I have a WhatsApp group, my school group, 40 people, and then whoever doctor, engineer, they won't talk to the people who are like not good in a study. Still, I'm talking 20 years after 20, like 25 years. So that mentality, that mentality that's affect the whole thing. Yeah.
And also, one thing I would say, like when the students, let's say in the 12th, 10th or 12th, even they have too much pressure on them. Like, you have to study hard. Like literally as a student, as a child have lots of pressure. Sometimes I have seen like, if you read newspaper in India, like even they are getting 60, like some child in the 10th or 12th, they got like 96%, and still he or she is unhappy and suicide happens. So just think about the pressure. So it's very concern, pressure.
If a kid, it's just a similarity, a simulation. Say if the kid comes to us and says that, hey, I do not want to do anything in my life. I just want to sit at home, and I probably want to marry, and it's a boy or a girl, and I don't want to do anything. So as parents, Indian origin parents, I don't know what would be the reaction. I'm very frank. I usually tell them to do something, and it's their choice to sit at home. But I always tell them that, okay, it's fine if you want to prefer to sit at home, but finish a degree, and that will give you some important support at some point of time. Say, for example, if the Indian parent is like an American parent and says, okay, fine, don't do anything, it's up to you, it's your choice. Would you agree to it? Would you as a parent do that to your kid, or would you take that extra step as an Indian parent to tell them, finish a degree, something, rather than sitting just at home dropping out of 12th grade?
Yeah, advice is always there, and helping make a better decision is always there. But like whole social pressure, here we don't have a social pressure. Yeah, if child is not doing, or grown up it doesn't do, there is no pressure. So in India, that factor is there. If you are not doing something, might be your family is not saying anything to you, but
your neighbor will have problem. Why your child is sitting at home?
If you go in a function, like family function,
Exactly.
you cannot sit there. Yeah.
Yeah, the social pressure will push them in a path.
It's too much social pressure.
The one we discussed. See, if we are so fat, they'll make us slim.
So all in all, I can say, instead of thinking bottom to top, we should think top to bottom.
Ah, nice.
So let's say when the child, they grown up and become a, we want to be a good human being, carry a, good values, and create something in this world, help the human beings. So it's not like about I have to do something, I have to achieve something. Obviously, we are in the same even though I'm saying this because we are grown up that way. But if you say pros and cons, when you are grown up in the skill learning skill and achieve something, you're gonna be in that position. So we want we want that kind of global city. You can say global city.
Very nicely said. I really enjoyed the conversation because, it was just mostly a repetition of points. So I just was giving you some questions. So that way you would answer that, and that would just fill in the spaces. And so we would cover more topics, because this is always a very interesting one, because, as people who has moved, migrated to many countries, we are always confused, and we sometimes are preparing our own template how to upbring a kid. So that's why this debate is a very wonderful topic. So let's go ahead, Gautami, give your cons, because you supported India in the beginning. So give your cons about India. So I really want to hear some points that really missed. And I really want you to touch up on those. And if you need help, I will push in some points for sure. Upbringing a kid in India, the cons.
Obviously, as I told, India is our country. There will be a feel that, okay, I am in my country, my place. So the culture, as I have told, the culture, traditions, and heritage, these are the main important things which we are afraid about to go to other countries. These are the three major things. We feel like our children will get diversified in based on tradition or culture or habits, which all of these come under our daily routine. So in India, as you told that I should say the cons.
So
So
let me give you some points. Is it safe for a woman child to go in a bus?
it's like it's based on the place, I can say. It's based on the place where we are. Obviously, that makes a lots of difference, but still, I can't. Uh, I don't know what to say. I feel so pathetic for not able to answer for this question. Obviously, there is a slight fear, slight line of fear, uh, staying as an women in a society where the people are being raised in a different way. It's not India. It's not US, or it's not other country. It's the way they raise the child, or the way they add values, or they teach values. It's the place. It's how the people get uh, raise their children.
And how about a boy child with the society's influence of the alcohol shops? Can they be influenced, and can they be wrongly influenced in a poorer society or even a rich society? Lee Meridian, pub clubs, how many kids, rich kids get ruined, how many poor kids get ruined? And Indian women, as I never was able to travel in a bus in India. I'm sorry. I was sandwiched. I prefer to be in an auto. And I always tell the naked truth because there are people who are listening. This is Miss India, my dream. We need to help. We cannot more Nirbhaya cases. We cannot have more cases of Hasini cases. We cannot. People
Yeah,
use
I would
that.
like to add a point.
Yes.
Like, yes, even women are like they are not raising the issue.
Exactly.
They are like because of the culture barriers they have, or traditional barriers they have, or because of the surroundings they have, the family. We are like thinking so much. Not only I am also in that situation. It's like if I open up, what they will think. If I say that, how they'll take me. And even the people at other end, they are also in a way, like if we raise an issue, they are like they see us in, oh, she's raising an issue. They don't think that she has been suffered or something. They just think, oh, she's raising an issue, her character is not good.
Uh-huh. True. Condescending ways of a woman's character or even a man's character in today's
Yeah,
society.
yeah, yeah,
Very
yeah.
common in India as well as US, but like US is more mature, more organized. It's not like that in US. How
Yeah,
about
it's like we
acid
think that
exposure? Do you remember
children over here.
Singapore song? Do you remember Singapore song? The acid, putting acid on a
Yeah,
girlfriend's.
yeah, yeah.
Is that even right? So that's good that when these movies bring up those concepts. So it's very important. So to Mr. Ashok and Mrs. Beena, in India, sometimes when the boyfriend proposes a girl and the girl rejects it, the boyfriend takes the acid and puts it on the girl. And there was
Yeah.
recently that was highlighted on that, and it was so good that the girl with the acid exposure, she would go and play a football match and she would just say, I would face the people with this face.
Wow, that's
And
courage.
yeah, so that those are the things, like I don't know if I'm brave enough to grow my upbring my daughter in India. I don't know. I grew up there, but I had to protect myself. There were some college guys would misbehave with me. Was I safe on 12 o'clock in the night, in the midnight in the road, like Gandhi asked us? We don't know. So go ahead. Are you done? Do you have more points to add, Mrs. Gautami?
Yeah, I'm like done. And regarding men, what you have told, obviously I'll say the same. Like it's the surrounding where we are, or it's how we raise. It's we how to tell each and every individual. I don't say women or men. We should teach. We should raise women, girl child to respect men, and we should raise the boy child to respect women. Mutual respect will definitely put an end to all these issues, which is so. I know.
Beautifully said. You actually finished with a punchline: mutual respect from both the genders. That is something amazing. You just made that one word, which is really nice. So go ahead, Ms. Meenal, Mrs. Meenal, go ahead, finish the debate show with the cons of the upbringing in India. Problems.
Problems, yeah. As you said, like, like traveling in a bus, like, would you feel safe? Like, I've grown up in India. I have been in buses. I have been in, all type of transport. It's how you upbring your child. It doesn't matter in India, in US, wherever it is. Even if it is a boy, if it is a girl, you bring up your child. Teach them all sorts of techniques where you can. We are not equally physically stronger and equal to men, but you can mentally prepare any child. To be like they don't feel like they are any lesser than men. So it's just that upbringing of your child, be it a boy or a girl in any country, it doesn't matter. Even I have seen, these cases of rape in US, in like, some college kids in some garage. It happens. It happens everywhere. In India, it's more prominent. There are a lot of things involved in it. It happens. It happens everywhere. That's my take. And it's how strong you raise your child as a parent. Even if you have a boy kid, teach him to respect women. Teach him how you would treat another girl as your mom, as your sister. It has to come from right from their 5 years, 6 years. Not okay, you're in a teen, you're in college. Everything starts right from their younger ages of childhood. Even if it is a girl, they can learn some martial arts. They need to learn some self prevention methods where they can protect themselves at any situation. We cannot be behind the children. They can travel. We want them to achieve so much. We dream so much. We want them to be so successful in their lives. So the thing is, like, we need to help them prepare to face the unseen. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen anywhere in any part of the country. So all that we can do as a parent to your child is get them prepared for whatever comes, so that they can face any type of situation. In India, in US, when you compare, like, we don't use much of buses because here the lifestyle, the standard of living is mostly same for all of us. All of us have a decent job. We all live in typical. I'm talking about, like, mostly Indian parents.
Seconds.
Yeah. So it's we haven't been exposed to a lot of different standards of living. So our children haven't known, but I have seen, the poor, the middle, the upper, the higher. So when you're exposed to so many things coming up in India, you grow up as a strong woman because you know the takes of different standards of living of different people. Here, the kids are not that much exposed. We don't take much the kids outside to see how it feels like in a bus, how it feels like an auto, how it feels like in a taxi. We are dropping them at the doorstep, picking them up from the doorstep. We are having them protected as much as possible, so they're not exposed as much as we were. So it's not like upbringing in India is not safe, or I wouldn't consider any lesser than upbringing here. It's how you bring a child. At the end, that's what I would like to sum it up.
Yeah, we had some time restraints, so I just got the notification. So we just wanted to make sure we make it quick.
Sure.
So that was wonderful cons, and you see how you guys were amazing. Like just say start, and you went for the pros. Start, you went for the cons. You just did an amazing job. Such a great start for a beautiful debate for My Dream Entertainment, My Dream Miss India. All beautiful contestants. I have to tell you the truth. I've been enjoying